I work reception at a health clinic in Amsterdam. An American couple walked in demanding real medicine for their son's cold. I explained we don't prescribe antibiotics for viral infections. The father pulled out his phone. I Googled it. Antibiotics kill infections. This is an infection. I said viruses don't respond to antibiotics. He shook his head. In America, doctors actually care about patients. They give you what you need. His wife nodded. We have the best healthcare system in the world. I didn't mention their insurance was rejected because they didn't pre-authorize an emergency visit. They paid €400 cash. Before leaving, the father asked if our antibiotics were FDA approved. Said we're in the Netherlands. He muttered something about European health standards. Their son recovered in 3 days without medication. If you appreciate getting the unfiltered reality behind these moments, not the myths people repeat online. This is the level of clarity I deliver every week. If that distinction matters to you, you'll want to subscribe now so you don't miss the next breakdown. At a pharmacy in Oslo, an American asked for a large bottle of ibuprofen. We don't sell bottles, just blister packs. She stared at the pack of 20 pills. This is it, I nodded. She asked for 10 packs. I said that's a lot. She said, in America, we buy 800 pills at once. This is ridiculous. A tourist in Stockholm asked our gym why we don't have air conditioning. I said it's 20 degrees outside. He said, exactly. It's hot. Here's what happens when American health habits meet reality. I manage a restaurant in Munich. An American ordered the schnitzel, ate half, then asked for a to-go box. Normal request. Except, he wanted to take the leftover sauce, the garnish, his bread basket, and the pickles from the next table. In America, we paid for it, we take it. Explained those items were complimentary, not purchased. He insisted. Complimentary means free. Free means mine. I brought a container. He packed everything, including the tablecloth decoration. At the register, he asked if he could take the mince by the door. I said they're for guests. He said, I am a guest. He took the entire bowl, left no tip because service was included. A pharmacist in Copenhagen told me an American walked in asking for a year's supply of melatonin. She explained they only sell monthly amounts. He couldn't understand why. What if I run out? She said then he'd buy more. He asked if they had Costco. She said no. He asked about Sam's Club. Also no. He finally asked, how do you people survive? She said they manage. He bought 1 bottle, visibly upset. Later left a review saying, Denmark was inconvenient for bulk shoppers. He'd been there 2 days. This is exactly the kind of cultural blind spot. Most people never notice, and most creators never bother to dissect. I track these patterns full-time so you don't have to. If you're the kind of viewer who likes being 3 steps ahead of the narrative, you already know subscribing is the smart move. I bartend in Barcelona. An American ordered a beer at 11 in the morning, then asked where he could get breakfast. I pull into the cafe next door. He looked confused. You don't serve food? I said no. We're a bar. He said, but you're open. I confirmed this. He said in America, if you're open, you serve everything. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. I explained, Spanish bars are just for drinks. He asked how we stay in business. I said alcohol. He shook his head like I'd explained quantum physics. That's so inefficient. He left to find an American chain. Came back an hour later because everywhere else was closed. Ordered another beer. Said Spain had weird business hours with siesta. I'm a doctor in Berlin. An American patient insisted he needed an MRI for back pain. I suggested physical therapy first. He said, I have insurance. Just order it. I explained German healthcare doesn't work that way. We try conservative treatment before imaging. He raised his voice. In America, if you pay for insurance, you get what you want. I said, that's not medicine. That's shopping. He demanded a second opinion. I offered a referral. He wanted it right now, I explained. Specialists need appointments. He asked to speak to my supervisor. I said, I'm the doctor, there's no supervisor. He threatened to report me to the medical board. I gave him the number. He never called. Returned 3 weeks later. Physical therapy had worked. Didn't mention our previous conversation. At a gym in Stockholm, an American asked the trainer why there were no treadmills. The trainer pointed to the door. It's Sweden. Go outside. The American said he needed climate control. The trainer said it's 15 degrees and sunny. The American insisted treadmills were safer. The trainer asked how. He said no cars. The trainer mentioned the dedicated running paths. The American said paths don't track calories. The trainer suggested a watch. The American said that's not the same as a machine. The trainer asked why. He couldn't answer. Just said in America, gyms have treadmills. Real gyms? The trainer shrugged. This is a real gym. We just use the outdoors. The American never came back. I work at a medical clinic in Prague. An American demanded we accept his health savings account card. I explained we only take insurance or cash. He insisted HSA cards work everywhere. It's basically a credit card. They said we're not set up for American payment systems. He asked why not. I said because we're in the Czech Republic. He said that's discriminatory. I offered to print an itemized receipt for reimbursement. He wanted to know our coding system. I said we don't use American medical codes. He asked how we bill insurance then. I explained Czech insurance is different. He sat down, opened his laptop, and tried to find our clinic in his provider network. Spent 30 minutes searching. Finally paid cash. Asked for a super bill. I had no idea what that was. I manage a wellness retreat in Bali. An American couple arrived and immediately asked about our meal prep service. I said we serve 3 meals daily. They wanted to know macros for each dish. I said we cook traditional Balinese food. We don't calculate macros. The wife pulled out her phone. We track everything. I offered to describe ingredients. Not good enough. They wanted gram measurements and nutritional breakdowns. I explained our chef cooks intuitively. No measurements. The husband got frustrated. How do you run a health retreat without nutrition data? I said people come here to disconnect from that mindset. He didn't understand. Tracking is health. They ate their first meal in silence, photographing every bite. Next morning, they asked if we had a gym. I pointed to our yoga pavilion. They meant weights and machines. I said we offer yoga, hiking, and meditation. The wife asked what people do for real exercise. Is that they move their bodies mindfully. She looked horrified. By day 3, they stopped asking questions. By day 7, they were hiking without fitness watches. On checkout, the husband admitted he felt better than he had in years, then immediately asked if I knew any gyms nearby. Old habits die hard. If these stories are giving you a clearer understanding of how cultures collide and why people behave the way they do, imagine having this level of insight on tap every week. That's what subscribing unlocks. Not entertainment perspective, some is the healthiest thing you can do is forget what you think you know. Because health isn't a spreadsheet. It's not a pill bottle or a bulk buy discount. It's learning that rest is productive, food is fuel, not data, and walking outside beats any treadmill. Next time. What happens when Americans try to optimize their vacations? Spoiler, they don't relax.